A downtown hotel development gets the go-ahead today by the Omaha City Council, even though the planning board recommended it be denied. Construction for the Drury Hotel near 10th and Farnham went on as planned despite the denial. Hotel officials had applied for a tax incentive to help cover construction costs, but Omaha's downtown hotel incentive policy reads the Drury did not meet the city's upper upscale class category. Well, this afternoon, attorneys for the Drury argued the policy was not adopted by a public body and then read the denial from the planning board.
I can personally assure you that the city planning staff found the application to be in compliance with the statutory requirements, that the EEA committee did not identify any deficiencies related to state law requirements, and that the discussion and the denial was based solely on the considerations related to the hotel as it applies to our hotel policy.
Councilmember Brinker Harding agreed that the policy is an internal one, not adopted by the council.
I think it's become very clear that this is not a city policy by the definition that it should be, that we probably should take that down from our website, because that is not what the city policy is.
In the end, the council voted 7-0 to approve the project and the tax incentive with some written guarantees from the hotel developer.